What's going on, guys? Just came back from the range from shooting these Midway boat tail polymer tip bullets that I got. Got it for a really good price. They were only about 20 bucks, which is about half off the normal rate for 168 grain bullets. So I wanted to try them out, and I made the first video kind of going over the bullets. There was about 80 of them that were in decent shape. The next 20 weren't as great. So those are the ones I wanted to go on and test. I got some average results from the majority of them. They were all coming out a little over an inch. I'll roll in some footage of me shooting, and I'll actually take a shot of what the group sizes were. So I labeled these bullets based on the order that I shot them when I was out at the range. And I thought those would make a big difference based on how bad the ballistic tips were. That the worse off they were, the more open the groups were. But surprisingly, they didn't make that much of a difference. And overall, they didn't shoot horrible. I was expecting some 2-inch groups. But I was shooting out of the back of my truck, as you can see. And there was some pretty big gusts that I wasn't able to see, or that I didn't notice. And when I looked back at the film, I had a camera set up by the target. I noticed that the target was bouncing around a lot. It never really stayed still. And I rolled in a little footage so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But this is the way the whole video went. And surprisingly, they weren't all that bad. So to do this test, I used my Remington 700 AAC SD with a Magpul Hunter 700 stock with the bottom metal and a primary arms 4-14 FFP in the R grid. And surprisingly, these didn't do as bad as I thought they were going to do. I was expecting a lot worse. But the velocity on them was 2719 with a standard deviation of 16.4. Which isn't all that bad. And I used 44.5 grains of Varget to reload these, and I used CCI prime. So Group A came in at 2.178 inch, and it wasn't that bad, but I think a lot of it had to do with the wind that was going on that day and the moving target. The second group came in at 1.759 inches. And the third group came in at 1.762 inches. Group D came in at 2.137 inches. And then Group E came in at 2.203 inches. And I measured all these with my digital caliper. And then what I did after that is I shot all the bullets. I took one from each group and made that a group. And I thought that would be the worst one of them all, with them all flying everywhere. But it came in at 2.606, which was probably the worst group of them all. And then I shot my Sierras expecting something a little better. And my Sierras came in at 2.166, which was really surprising for me. But I think it had a lot to do with the target. So with those numbers based together, they actually didn't do that bad. They were all around the same, a little over an inch, in between an inch and 2 inches, which is not horrible. I expected a lot worse, but it is what it is. I don't know if it was me that day, if it was just the bullets. But so what I did after that was I came back in, looked at everything, and I decided to go back out. So I went back out, and I had a little bit left of the bullets that were all in Group E. So it was the majority of the bulk, and those ones I got a little bit better results. I shot in a different area. The wind wasn't as bad. Well, there was about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, but it was pretty constant. And I had a new target, so the target wasn't bouncing around. It was a very stable target. I had to build a new one. And the first group of those that came out was 1.1725, and then I shot a follow-up group, and that came out at 1.816, and then I turned around and shot some Sierras, and I got them at 0.866, which is what I expected from the Sierras. So I don't know if it was just a bad day. I'm not sure what's going on, but that was the results. Alright guys, to end the video, the big question is, do I feel they're worth the $20? And I do. I don't think I got ripped off by buying them. I got exactly what I paid for. They're not some precision rounds, but to go out and have some fun, maybe shoot some steel, a couple hundred yards, probably take it out to about 500 yards and still hit a 12-inch plate, no problem. I think they'll work fine. I probably will get them again for some planking or for some steel shooting. If I'm going to shoot groups, I'm going to end up getting some good Sierras or maybe some Hornadies straight off the shelf, not the factory seconds. But we'll see how it goes next time. I've seen some bad reviews that they came out horrible. I've seen some that came out good. Mine were decent. So I probably will try them again. And I suggest if you want some good planking rounds, go ahead and try it and see how they go. Have a good one.